we barely get along. All right. Hey, guys. It is Ask a Realtor time, 10 o'clock on Thursdays. We are Tony Bahu and
Bender.
He just goes by Bender.
That's right.
That's it.
Or you call me John, Bender Perry. We were talking about that the other day. I got too many names. I'm Bender Perry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chris Bender.
Mm-hmm.
I'm John Bender Perry.
Yeah.
Or I'm John, or I'm Bender. It gets to be too much. I can't.
So we gotta stick with one.
Bender, just Bender.
Bender.
Yeah,
Just do Bender. Bender, and it's buy from Bender.
It is. Buyfrombender.com too. Check that website out if you're looking to
Please
buy
do.
some. We got all kinds of houses on there for you to choose from.
Absolutely. Or if you just want the generic, you want to work with me, I love MississippiHomes.com is where you can find me and the rest of our agents. If you don't like this guy's mug, I like this guy's mug, even though you got the brown going on, you got the little tan.
I use my bronzer for you're a TV guy.
Yeah.
A little bronzer on and a little eyeshadow.
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right. So what we're going to do today is on Ask a Realtor. We're growing this little thing that we do, and this week we are bringing in Billy Red from Priority One, and he's going to talk about how and why you need to get pre-qualified, especially in a seller's market when you've got a lot of competition to get that house you want to love to live in. All right, so let's bring in Billy, add him to the stream. Hey, Billy, can you hear us?
Hey.
I can hear y'all loud and clear. I'm not certain that's a good thing today.
Good deal. We're gonna get real close here because you're cutting me off. See, Bender likes to be the number one guy.
No.
Anyway, but Billy, thanks for joining us on this Ask a Realtor, and now we're gonna have Ask a Lender too. Let me just tilt this. Which way am I tilt? There we go.
While you're doing that, Tony, I guess it's Bender, Bahu, and Billy. We got the 3 Bs represented.
We got the killer bees. That's right.
That's
and
right.
we will find you a home that you'll love to live in, and we'll get you qualified for it. So a lot of people have a misconception of what pre-qualified versus pre-approval. Just take us through the different steps and then, why it's important.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the important, why it's important, I think is probably the most important question, if you would, and that is when you start looking for a house, this helps focus your guidelines of where you want to look, helps focus you as a realtor. Also, you don't want to be showing someone a $500,000 house and they can qualify for a $250,000 or vice versa. So it helps focus everyone's efforts to where we can use our time wisely, and it also helps you know that, okay, I can afford a $500,000 house, but this is what my estimated monthly mortgage payment is going to be, because you don't want to be sitting there in this beautiful house eating ramen noodles 3 meals a day.
Right.
With no furniture.
With no furniture on the floor.
Right.
But it does help focus everyone's time and efforts. The big differences between pre-qualification and pre-approval. Pre-qualification is where I'm talking to the borrower, asking a lot of questions, very probing questions. I get to learn more about you than maybe you care for me to know about, but taking all that information, your income, your employment, how you're paid, your credit scores, your debt to income, and coming up with a dollar amount that you do qualify for. That's the pre-qualification. That's without any verification of the documents. The pre-approval is then taking all of that information, gathering all the documents, and actually sending it to underwriting for approval. So the terms do get a lot interchanged, but 99.9% of the time you're looking at a pre-qualification when we first start talking with it.
Okay. And then, so the timetable on that. So I've got a buyer, they think their budget's going to be about $200,000. I send them to you to get qualified. Yeah. What are you going to ask them up front? Because they always ask me, and I kind of, I don't know if you do this, but I interview them a little bit. Do you know your credit score? Have you been with your job for 2 years? What is your monthly either mortgage right now, or what is your rent if they're a first-time buyer, and what do you want to spend on X, Y, and Z? And then and then that's how I steer them a little bit towards, all right, we need this lender, or you might go qualify here. What do you ask them, and how long does that process take?
Well, if they are not self-employed, it can rush it through a lot faster. If they are self-employed, then we're actually going to have to get 2 years tax returns, potentially only 1 year, and do a little bit more in-depth analysis to see what our qualifying income is going to be. But questions, we're going to be looking at where they live now, how long have they lived there. We have to verify 2 years of living, where they've lived the last 2 years, 2 years of employment history, asking them not only how much do you make, but how is that structured? Is it W-2 income? Is it 1099 income? Are you on a salary? Are you on an hourly basis? Do you get overtime? And so really probing a lot on the income side. And then we're starting to look at things like bank accounts. How much money do they have in their bank so that we can see what kind of structure we need to put together, especially in working with you to determine what's going to be that seller contribution to help them if they need additional cash to close. So, we're probing income, we're probing living, we're probing work conditions. Not conditions, but where they work.
Sure.
And then also previous housing experience. And then, of course, asking them, make certain we have their permission to pull their credit report. And then we really look into that credit report.
Yeah, I'm curious, what's the lowest credit score you can work with, Billy? I'm sure you have tips and tricks to help raise those credit scores if they're low.
Yes. We start with a 600. 600 credit score, middle score. And you do have 3 scores with your different credit bureaus. So for us, it's a 600. If it is below that, I do take a look at that and can look through there and see, hey, you've maxed out on your credit cards too much or your late payments, and I'll always give them suggestions back. And sometimes that suggestion is, it's going to be a while. Sometimes it might be, hey, we're only a month or 2 away, or there's even potentially doing what's called a rapid rescore. There's a program we use called Wayfinder that goes in there and says, hey, what do we need to do to get their score up to XYZ? I'm working with a client right now. We needed to get their score up a little bit higher. That was going to make about a half a point difference on their interest rate. So they paid some bills down that we recommended to them through this program. We did a rapid rescore, and now their interest rate is about a half a point better. So
where does that come at? I mean, if you're like at a 620, but then you increase it to a 660 or 680, where's that? I guess where's the tiers where it really does start affecting the interest rate?
A real good question, and I hear that a lot. 600, that's going to be not your best rates. 620 is another magic point. 640 hits another one. Then from there on, 660, 680 range. You start to hit some other ones. And then once you cross over 700, that's another one. And then from there on, anything that you're climbing in the 700s, you get over 750, then you get over 800. Obviously, those are excellent scores.
Right.
But, on FHA loans, 600 is one rate. 620, it's definitely going to improve.
Okay.
And on some
So even 20 points can make a difference.
Absolutely, yes.
What do you have? Everything's going, with millennials and younger people. People are qualifying on their phones now. Does Priority One have an app? Is it a pretty quick process, or is it more in depth that you guys offer?
Yeah, it's fairly quick. I mean, there's a link to an online application that I can send to you. You can do it on your iPhone. You can do it on your iPad, on your computer, whatever electronic device you want to. It's going to take them maybe 10 minutes to fill it out when they do it, and that's really taking a coffee break in between.
Right.
Fairly quickly that it can be done. Then it comes back into me. I'll review it. I'd say 99% of the time I'm going to have a few questions, so I'll call them back, fill in a few details, and then that's where we'll pull the credit report and move forward from there. And going back to your earlier question, if they're all W-2 income, and for some reason or other, we need a rush on this. From the time they fill out that application and get it back into me, it can be as few hours. If I sort of push everything aside, if we've got a rush/emergency situation that we need to push it through. Self-employed, like I say, will take a little bit longer.
All right. Well, good deal.
I have some clients that are want to do USDA. They might have funds for a down payment, but have some funds for closing costs. How do you qualify for a USDA loan?
Yeah, USDA, you definitely have some debt to income ratio and your front end ratio or your housing ratio. USDA a lot of times is going to be looking 41%, 42% roughly on your debt to income, which is
That's before on the back end, or is that the front end?
That's on the back end. Yes, that's
Okay.
all of your debts and your mortgage payment.
Okay.
And then the front end ratio definitely needs to be below 30%. Credit scores 660, 680 in that range to be able to start on them. And rates right now on USDA are phenomenal, and FHA too.
So on the front end, people get confused, and I actually have a client, a first-time buyer, and I was trying to explain to him, he's looking at a house in Hinds County, which wouldn't go USDA and conventional versus, an FHA program or government-backed program. Talk to me about what that entails, that front end, that back end. So I think people get confused with exactly what that means, that DTI, the debt to income.
Absolutely. The front end ratio is your proposed mortgage payment as a percentage of your income.
Okay.
And that, when you look at a lot of financial planners and things, ideally is keeping that 30, 31% or lower. And the much lower that you can get that, the better. That way you're not house rich and living condition poor.
And is that gross or is that net?
That's gross. That is
okay.
Everything we work off of is gross income. Very, very good. The debt to income or the back end ratio is all of your debts along with your proposed mortgage payment as a percentage of your income. Now, here's the key on the debt. It doesn't matter what the total debt is. It's looking based off of that credit report. What is the minimum monthly payment? So we're looking at the monthly payments as a percentage of that income.
So for example, and I'll give you a scenario, first timer making $50,000. They're looking at a $1,000 to $1,100 mortgage, and they may have $500 more, $600 more with a car payment and small credit cards. So you're looking at about $1,700 on a I guess a $4,800 income. What would that put you at? Give or take.
As I'm pulling up the trusted calculator over here, so you're looking at a monthly income then of $4,166. So that would put your debt to income at about 40.806529.044 exactly.
Yeah. So you're right on the crust right there. You're right where that's right.
Yeah. That's the recommended as far as when we're looking at people, as far as you're managing your money right and not overspending. FHA loans, though, I've got them to where they're approving over 50% fairly regularly.
Right.
Personally, I think that's a little high, but that's that's how that you are set up. If you've got that higher debt to income ratio, definitely if it's over 50%. You're going to be looking at an FHA loan. Conventional loan, regular Fannie Mae's below 50%, USDA down much lower, and VA loans can go over 50% too.
Okay. So, and that's important because, again, you don't want to be house poor. We don't want to get in the same financial crisis that we had in 08 and 09, where we had especially in the pandemic that we were in, people the interest rates are great, but it doesn't matter what the interest rate is. It's your monthly payment. You're not buying a $200,000 house. You're buying an $1,100 mortgage or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. That's what I try to tell people all the time.
Absolutely. You and I we're all on the same page there. Is that I counsel people that, this sure is a beautiful house, but do you really want to make that monthly mortgage payment? Mm-hmm. And I think that's part of what we do in real estate as real estate agents, as mortgage bankers, to not just sell them a house and not just do their financing, but make certain that we counsel them and give them good advice that, they're not going to be wanting to come back to us and strangle us in 2 months' time.
Right. Well,
payment.
again, it does us no good if a year or 2 or 5 they're struggling to make ends meet because they overbought a house. Now, the ironic part is in your neighborhood, rent in the Jackson, Mississippi area is crazy high for single family dwellings. If you want a house with a backyard, even in an apartment complex. Mm-hmm. So if I'm looking at a guy who's paying, I don't know, $1,500, $1,600 for a rental property, but then they want to only pay $1,100, and I get it. They want to save some money. That's why they're renting or they're buying versus renting. How does that factor into what they're already paying in rent versus what the new mortgage is going to be? Do you ever factor what they're currently paying now at all?
Yes, that you can have, as far as when we're running through desktop underwriting, if you're paying, let's say, $1,000 a month right now, and then you're going to be buying a house and you're paying $3,000 a month, and your ratios are a little bit close, it does take into consideration what's called that sticker shock. That, can you go from $1,000 to $3,000 a month, or whatever, from $500 to $1,000, whatever the numbers are. And
sure.
Those ratios are close. It might come back and not approve it because of that.
Gotcha. All right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions you have?
I can't think of any right now, man. Billy, we appreciate you being with us today.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah,
Priority one, give your phone number and information out if someone wants to give you a contact.
This is the time for the blatant plug. Is that what we're doing?
Exactly.
But yeah, I do work for Priority One Bank. I'm in our Ridgeland office. We're in the Horn building on I-55 in Ridgeland. My direct number is 601-499-1665. Would love to visit with folks. And even if they have questions, even if I'm not doing their mortgage loan for them, I'm here to help and try to be as a resource. And Bender, I think that we're the 3 Bs now.
Yes.
2 of us
yeah.
have some hair. Others maybe not quite as much.
There you go.
That's fine.
There you go. That's all right.
That's okay.
He looks good in a goat. He needs to get him a goatee.
No, the wifey don't like
the
that.
wifey don't like it.
So,
I understand.
Tony, I'm trying to remember. We've known each other for 20, 25 years now, and I'm trying to remember the hair follicles at that time, but we always have fun with it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Billy. We'll catch you next time, but give him a call over at Priority One Bank. We'll catch you later on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
All right, brother. All right, so we got some good information there.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
I got a shameless plug too.
Okay, what you got?
Open house Saturday.
Yes,
2
sir.
to 4, 137 Greenway Lane in Madison. It's a beautiful home. It's a 3-2 over 2,200 square feet, and it's priced to sell.
Yeah, 355, right?
Yeah, 355 is the asking price, and it's Valentine's Day weekend, so got a gift card to Cerami's Italian restaurant in Flowwood. We're going to give away also. So when you come out, you sign the little log. When you come in, you look around, and we'll draw a winner from that.
Awesome.
This Saturday, 2 to 4, 137 Greenway Lane.
Look, if you guys have any questions, I know we didn't get any questions today through Billy, but if you have any questions about, we did. Through yours? Oh, well, hold on. Grab that. We're going to go.
This is about the behind the
scenes camera on Bender's thing here.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Easy now.
Okay.
All right.
We got,
Let's see.
Do we have any questions there?
Let's see here. What was the lowest credit score you should have to get a fair rate? You mentioned that one.
Yeah. 600.
That's gone down.
Right.
Actually,
It used to be 640.
Right.
I mean,
600 now.
So 600. And that one, and we should ask them, it varies. I would say you're probably going to be over 3, maybe 3.5, but, get with Billy and he can get you an exact answer on that one.
Yeah. Now somebody said it was hard to hear. This is our behind the scenes angle.
Yeah.
But you go to Tony Bahu's Facebook page,
right,
to get the complete audio and all that good stuff.
So we're covered up there. Oh, what there? Dots right here. This is the behind the scenes. That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so that's the behind the scenes.
That was behind the scenes.
Yeah. So. I hit a jackpot not too long ago.
There you go.
For $1,250. So time to go gambling again.
Do I get any of that?
It's gone now. It's gone now. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody tuning in. That was a fun one.
we will catch up with you guys next week on the next at the Ask a Realtor. Talk to you later.
Something happened.
Bye bye.
Sorry about that.